Welcome back to Sailing Selkie. For those of you who are new here, we're Paddy and Esme, and we are so excited to have you along with us for the start of what's truly the adventure of a lifetime. Our journey began in 2022 when we bought this boat, driven by one big crazy goal, to sail all the way across the Atlantic to the Caribbean. It wasn't easy. Living on board, working full time and scraping together every bit of energy and money to make this happen was a huge challenge. But we kept pushing forward. Every little upgrade, every late night on the boat was a step closer to making this dream come true. And now, here we are, finally standing on the edge of this massive adventure. We're about to leave our home marina here in Portishead, the place that's been our base and our refuge, and set sail across the Bay of Biscay on a 5-day passage to A Coruña in Spain. This is the real deal. The Bay of Biscay is notorious for its rough weather, high seas, and if that wasn't enough, we've got orcas to watch out for too. Every bit of hard work, every sleepless night, every time we doubted ourselves or wondered if we were in over our heads, it's all led to this. And now we're asking you to come with us. Join us for this epic, nerve-wracking but incredibly exciting journey as we set off on the very first leg of our adventure. This is where it all begins. The dream of crossing oceans, of leaving everything familiar behind and chasing the horizon. So, stick with us because things are about to get real. We're taking you with us through the highs, the lows and everything in between. Together we'll face whatever the Bay of Biscay throws at us and hopefully make it safely to Spain, where the next chapter of our journey awaits. This is just the beginning of something extraordinary and we can't wait to share it with you.
It is go time.
Today is the day!
We're gonna head down, lock out, and head off.
Yeah, go to Spain. Let's
Spain,
go to Spain! Woo! So we've made it safely out of the lock, waved goodbye to Portishead, and we're in the Bristol Channel now. It's so nice to be sailing again. It's sunny, which is also really nice because it was pouring with rain yesterday. And yeah, we're just really excited. We've had a few problems with our navigation not working, but Paddy has fixed all that. The waypoints are in and we now know where we're going, which is always comforting and reassuring.
It's going to be quite rough for the next 24 hours whilst we get out of the channel. A little bit hot in the mouth, to be honest, getting out of here and having things, trying to check if things are working, if things aren't working. Engine seems fine, auto helm's fine. I've now got nav. That's all you need, isn't it? Rest. I wanted to stay on the watch until we were out of the channel and through this. As expected, the wind's built quite a bit and it's wind against tide now, so it's pretty lively out here. Camera never really does it justice, but we are properly going down into these waves.
I think I'm going to have to take back what I said about the sunny Bristol Channel because it's now pouring with rain and blowing about 30 knots. The Selkie is holding strong. The auto helm's doing its job. We're both quite wet though, despite the cockpit.
Well, that'll do.
Wet.
Sailing.
Yeah. About 10 o'clock in the evening and Paddy's gone down to try and get some sleep. It's been really slammy and rolly this evening, but it's calmed down a little now. But we had one really big slam that seems to have knocked the GPS off, so the receiver up on deck now is saying no GPS, which is really annoying, so we have to go down to check our waypoints rather than having them up here. It's fine, we'll try and fix it tomorrow. It's hard to do in the dark. I'm not really sure what's wrong with it, but it coincided with a big old slam, so I wonder if something's gone wrong there. But yeah, much nicer sailing now. The moon is quite bright. We've got the last of the daylight ahead of us as well, and we're just coming up on Ilfracombe, so we're pretty much out of Bristol Channel, which is really cool.
It's currently about 11 o'clock. Finally managed to turn the engines off. We've turned away around Hartland Point, so we're on the coast of Devon now. So now the wind's nice on I think it's on a broad reach, no, close reach, hammering along at 7 knots, but it's the peace and quiet. Yeah, it's the absolute best. It's morning. It's cool. Looks pretty nice. It's been a lovely sail. We've been doing about 6.5, 7 knots for hours now. It's supposed to stay like this for ages. The sea's flattened out a lot. Still quite rolly. Makes me a bit worried about longer distance passages. Bloody knackering if you like, just moving around is hard. Putting your clothes back on after you've been to bed is hard. So maybe this is just the reality of long distance sailing. But yeah, it's nice to see the sun again. Everything's a bit better in the daytime, I think. A little bit less nerve-wracking. Right, we've just turned around Land's End and onto course for A Coruña.
Yeah.
So, and when that bit of land there goes behind us, that's going to be it gone for 3 days. Longest time we've ever been outside of land.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's also, I think we're pretty close to the longest journey we've done, which is previously 36 hours. I think we're getting close to that as well. So, for everywhere on now, this is first.
Yeah.
Biscay, please be kind to us. A stunning sunset on what is now day 2 of our passage to Spain. We have basically been out offshore away from land now for probably 5-6 hours. It's quite rolly, as you can see. This swell that's been building from this strong wind, but the wind itself is dying off, which is nice. So we're flying along just the main up. We're now well into the graveyard shift on the second night. We are quite far into Biscay now. We've just come south of the traffic separation scheme off the northern tip of France, so we've been like dodging ships in the dark, which is always good fun. There's a big one out there, which you probably can't see. Really making use of the radar, which I haven't used as much before. Actually, it really is so helpful. So I've definitely been using that a lot. It's pretty peaceful out here, other than the ongoing threat of big ships and big animals.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried. That diesel leak's not going to do anything worse, but you just don't want diesel everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it's not very safe, so are you alright?
There is a diesel leak, if that wasn't clear. Paddy was thinking about trying to clean one of the injectors up, but I don't think it's a very good idea to start fiddling with it in the middle of the Bay of Biscay. So I think we're just going to leave it for now. It's not bad, and it will get us there, and then we can fix it when we get to Spain. But yeah, we're both feeling in very good spirits. It's an amazing day today, so sunny, so flat, and it's incredible how restorative sleep is. When it's good sleep, today's going to be a much better day all round, which is really, really nice, because I think yesterday we were both getting a bit nervous that was what it was always going to be like, and we were both just feeling a bit sick, tired. You can't really do much when the boat's rolling that much, because it just throws you around when you're down below. You can't cook, like you can hardly go to the toilet. So yeah, it's much nicer today.
So trying to work out what to do with this bloody diesel leak is causing me a bit of stress. Ed is right, probably doesn't feel like the right thing to do to try and fix it out here, because there's really fragile little hollow screws, and if I snap one of those I don't have a spare, and it's a lot worse. But I'm also not that comfortable with diesel everywhere, so well, I'll show you what I've done. I've just plugged it, just put some tissue paper around it for now. So I think the best bet is just to try and keep it as dry as possible and just keep it as clean as possible, and hopefully we're only motoring for another 4 or 5 hours, and then we're going to sail the rest of the way anyway, so I think it's going to be a monitor job.
So it's just coming up to the evening, and the weather is due to change a bit overnight. It's due to get windier, probably going up to about 4 to 5, so not as bad as it was in the Bristol Channel, but still not as nice as it is right now. And one of the problems we had was the dinghy was swinging backwards and forwards a bit whilst we were rolling around, and it was just rubbing up against stuff, and yeah, not good for the boat, not good for the dinghy. So Paddy's got our climbing clipstick out and is currently rigging like some better supports for it. So definitely worth showing you because it's hilarious.
This one is proving a little bit harder than the first one.
Oh, he's got it through. So now do you need the boat hook? I have to say I'm very impressed.
That worked quite well, didn't it?
Yeah, it worked really well. Very impressive. It's kind of mental. There's literally no land. We can't see any land. And the only other boats we've seen are big shipping boats. Haven't seen any other sailing boats. So yeah, it feels pretty surreal to be out here.
Right, we've made it to the continental shelf, and it's quite flat, so that's one big tick. This can be really rough over here, so glad to be hitting this, 1 in the daylight and 2 in the calm. The only thing is there's a lot of animal activity around here because a lot of nutrients gets pushed up from the deep water as it comes onto the shelf, which means just like loads of animals feed. So I'm standing up at the back here to just keep an eye out for orcas, because this is where all of the interactions and sightings have been this far out, have been along this line, along the shelf. There are so many dolphins, so like lots of bird activity, so there's definitely stuff going on. So I think if we were going to see them, this would probably be the time. So I'm going to stay up here until we're past, so probably a couple of hours. Got my binoculars, so a bit of wildlife watching, bit of really hoping that we don't see those big black fins.
We're literally in the middle of the Bay of Biscay, and the sun is going down on what has been the most amazing day so far of this trip. I know we're only on day 3, but yeah, it's definitely the top day so far. It's just been really lovely. The only thing that would have been better is if we were sailing rather than motoring, but there has been no wind. Just feeling really, really lucky though. So grateful to all our family and friends that supported us in making this decision, and yeah, proud that we've actually done it. And this sunset is just spectacular. So it's just gone 2 AM, and as predicted, the wind has started to build. Paddy wanted to put the spinnaker up, but we've actually decided against it just because we're a bit nervous about how much the wind's going to build, and obviously it's dark and we haven't used that sail very much, and it requires going on the foredeck quite a lot. So yeah, we've decided we're putting it away at the moment, and we're going to get the Yankee out instead, I think. But yeah, Pads is on the foredeck. I think he's about to come back now. We've got a really good deck light, which makes everything a lot easier in the dark, which is quite nice, although it does completely mess with your eyes. Oh, sweet relief. Engine off.
24 hours later, engine off.
Really nice to have the engine off, actually. I love it. And I can go and sleep in peace.
Snooze!
Oh, I'm very excited. How are you doing? Are you good?
Yes.
Are you happy?
I think I'm rubbing through my knees.
Oh, nice.
And my bum is a bit sore.
From sitting or?
From sitting. I'm just a red light at the moment, aren't I?
Yeah, you are a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm looking forward to that coffee that you made for me earlier.
Yes, when I make my coffee for the first watch, I make Paddy one and I put it in a flask so he doesn't have to go and use the kettle in the dark, which is always quite nice, isn't it?
You're the best.
Because I'm the best.
The best and the greatest ever.
Well, I'm going to go sleep, so see you.
Super. Today's quite different from yesterday. Wind's really picked up and it's kind of it's come round onto the nose bit, so it's a much wilder sail. We're about 24 hours out now, so yeah, it's 10 o'clock British time. We should be arriving around the same tomorrow morning. Interesting spot for lunch. Where are we?
Pretty much back bang in the middle of the Bay of Biscay, which is yeah, cool. Not seen on the boat in a very long time, have we?
We are probably the furthest point from land, hove to, just because it was pretty bumpy. We just fancied a bit of a rest, a bit of lunch.
Right, well, whilst we were hove to for lunch, the leech line of the Yankee has wrapped around the baby stay and like ripped up and created a really big knot. So the Yankee is currently attached to our rigging. So we've had to go back into hove to, and Paddy's had to go up. I'm really not sure what to do. He thinks he might have to climb the mast. Okay, he's actually climbing the mast.
Give me a knife and duct tape.
Knife and duct tape, yeah.
Take this back through. That's the knife on the end still.
Has it worked?
Yeah. Knife on the end still.
Yeah. So I think that's worked. This is what he did.
Right, I'm coming back.
The diving knife that I just bought him taped to the end of our boat hook seems to have fixed it, which means that he didn't have to climb the mast, which is pretty good. Back on course.
Yeah. Disaster averted.
Disaster averted.
Wow. Ripped leech line, so that's annoying.
Yeah, really annoying. We'll have to get that fixed in Spain, but could have been worse.
Minor casualties are fine. Acceptable.
We're now sailing well. So we're running low on fuel in our main fuel tank, but we have a huge reserve tank. I think it's actually bigger than the main fuel tank, which we have to use a fuel pump to get, like a diesel pump to get diesel from that tank into the other tank, into our main tank, because they're completely separate, which is great for many reasons, like if one of them got fouled or whatever, but it's a bit of a faff right now. We've not done it before, so it's going to be an interesting one in a rolly sea. But the only way of accessing the reserve one is down under that floorboard. There's the fuel pump, and then here's the main inlet for the main fuel tank that powers the engine. So that's the setup. That doesn't look janky at all.
It's totally fine.
Don't electrocute yourself.
Hey, 12 volt, it's fine.
It works. Oh god, that's going in there.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You in?
Yeah. Oh fucking hell.
Coming out.
Yeah, it is, but like that was quite messy and has made Paddy quite seasick, I think.
I was just hot as well down there.
Yeah. So Paddy just about managed to put a reef in. It's really rolly, really rolly.
Just beyond rolling, it's rough.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Quite scary going up, I think. Was it quite scary?
yeah, it's like climbing where you know you're clipped in, but if you were to fall, you know there's a consequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was quite scary.
Yeah, so we're coming down from that. I managed to prepare dinner yesterday when it was really flat because we knew it was going to be rougher today. So we were eating some slightly sad, cold spaghetti bolognese, but at least it's food and it was really easy to just grab and eat. So yeah, I'm just going to ride it out. Oh, that's a big one.
It's just got dark on our final night. We're only about 100 miles off A Coruña, but it is really rough. Like, I mean, I think it's only about 2 meters swell, but God, do you feel it? And we're crossing it. So we've got some breaking waves on the side of the boat. We're flying all over the place, and I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty scary, especially now I can't see them. But Selkie's doing incredibly, just ploughing through. We've got to reef right down because we don't want to get there too quickly because I want to get there in the light. So yeah, all okay, but I must admit I'm pretty stressed right now. Ez has gone to have a break. I'm going to sleep midnight and I want to be up for first light because there's the shelf the other side and then coming in that I want to be up for. So yeah, hopefully she can get some rest. Maybe I can then get some rest, and hopefully my nerves can handle the next 12 plus hours. I'm hoping that we will be all moored up in A Coruña by like midday tomorrow. Would be perfect. So, but for now, I've got the moonlight and the breaking waves. Wish me luck.
So it's just gone 2 a.m. and the sea state is still very, very rough. I've been on watch for 2 hours and I'm going to keep going till about 5 a.m. Trying to give Paddy as much rest as possible before he has to navigate the shelf, which we think is going to potentially be quite rough going into A Coruña. So yeah, he was really tired yesterday, so gonna try and give him as much sleep as I can give him, and then we'll swap and he can manage us over the shelf. Hopefully there'll be no orcas. I think we're both really, really looking forward to being there at this point. It's been a very mixed sail of some pretty gnarly waves and wind, and then some like dead flat days. So yeah, we definitely experienced both sides of the Bay of Biscay, and it's been an awesome adventure so far. Really puts into perspective life a little bit when you're being thrown around in the dark in the middle of the Bay of Biscay. Your problems don't feel like problems anymore, which is really, really funny. It's definitely something I've just been thinking about. But yeah, we should get there soon and celebrate with some sangria.
Good morning from a very rough Biscay. It's been a pretty tough night. Very, very big sea right on the beam all night, reefed right down. Yeah, both slept terribly. But yeah, we're very nearly there. I think I've just seen Spain, which might not be able to see, but it's like right on the misty horizon over there. I can see a little cliff, so I think that might be land. First time in when we lose sight of land 3 days ago. So we're very close now.
So I've just woken up from my last nap of the night and we've had some breakfast. I've woken up on a we can now see Spain, which is quite cool. I went to bed when it was dark and I couldn't see anything.
And it's now warm.
Yeah, it's really warm now. I've really noticed a difference with the first night versus last night of how much stuff I was wearing. So the first night, leaving the Bristol Channel, I had a thermal, a mid-leg jacket, a jumper, my salopettes and my offshore sailing jacket on, and a beanie and gloves. And then last night I just had my salopettes and a jumper on, and that was it, and like was quite hot. So you can definitely tell that we're much farther south than we were 4 nights ago, which is really cool. And we got here from sailing ourselves and our home, which
over 500 miles further south.
Yeah, it's really, really bonkers. And we're about 5 hours, is that right, from Spain?
Something like that. 4 or 5 hours from A Coruña, yeah.
30 nautical miles, so we're literally on the home stretch.
We made it.
We did make it.
There's the Spain.
It smells like land.
It does smell like that.
I've always wondered if you could really smell that, but you can. It's
Yeah, it smells like that tree.
Yeah.
Lovely. It's stunning. We've been sitting in the cockpit enclosure all afternoon. I was just stepped out here, but like it feels way more real when you're looking at it, not through like a salty bit of
Plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's looking lovely.
We made it! It's time for Paddy's favourite tradition, courtesy flag / Q flag time.
Oh yeah. I don't think this is actually the right one. So I did read online that you're only supposed to fly the one with the crown in it if you're Spanish registered. But I also read online that no one really cares. So
It's small and it's evidently a courtesy flag, so I think we're
this
okay.
is one.
And our Q flag.
Our Q flag. I think this one goes on the right. This one goes on the left.
We only have one that's on the right.
They're both going on the right.
There's like no wind.
Look at sad.
They're okay. They'll fly eventually. We have officially made it. We have moored up on a very small pontoon.
Teeny tiny wobbly pontoon.
Teeny tiny wobbly pontoon, but we are in Marina Real. Was that Marina Real in A Coruña in Spain after about 106 hours at sea, I think. Yeah, feeling really accomplished and looking forward to having some beers this evening, I think.